Happy Easter, everybody. Didn't record yesterday, well, a lot yesterday, aside from, me editing my best mate's Dark Souls video very early in the hours of Saturday morning. But yeah, not a lot happened yesterday other than me clearing some weeds out of the back garden, which there's still a few there. Probably going to have to do that today, as well as out of the front garden. And if you couldn't tell from the last part, editing part 3, editing week 3 of my documentary was exhausting, mostly because you might have seen the little intro piece that I put in for because I had a bit of time on my hands. I just had an idea, to make a short segment for that and have it be about 6 seconds long. But because I had all sorts of different ideas for it, making that 6-second opening to because I had a bit of time on my hands took hours. So I'm not doing anything like that for a while. And if I do, I'll make sure that I start editing earlier in the day. But as for now, it's Easter. Time to go downstairs and have the Easter egg that's been sat at the top of the cupboard intimidating me for days. So, I tried recording some stuff on my PS4 today. Thought I could record a little let's play of Mega Man X. And right when I beat the game, I had to listen back to the audio, for what I'd recorded, watch back on the video, and the mic was too quiet. So I'm going to have to redo that let's play, just so you guys can hear what I say. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the next part of my best mate Matty's Dark Souls 2 playthrough. I feel like I owe him that, at least. And thankfully it won't be as long as my documentary, editing that. It won't be as long as, that. So, yeah, I'll just get straight onto it. Okay, so it's nearly the end of the day and I haven't really recorded anything. So I felt like I should record, something for the end of the day. But not a lot's been happening. Did some weeding in the front garden, got rid of the weeds. Then after that, I tried recording a let's play quite recently for my YouTube channel. As it may or may not be uploaded now, considering how long it takes me to do it. But yeah, not a lot's been going on today. Sorry I can't provide you, every day with, something exciting or something eventful. But yeah, that's just how life is nowadays in quarantine. Sometimes there's weeks where a lot happens, and sometimes there's weeks where not a lot of stuff happens. So I'm just going to have a shower and get to bed. Because my sleeping pattern is fucked. I mean, it's always been fucked. I've never really had a proper sleeping pattern, but gonna try and get a bit more sleep than I have done over the past few days. Because this week is the week that I get a load of my college work done before the end of what is quote unquote the Easter holidays. Yeah, so it's supposed to be the Easter holidays, but it still doesn't really, feel like it, considering we're, still locked inside. We're not really locked inside. We are able to, go out for an hour and get some fresh air, but not really able to do as much. Not really able to go to college itself. Not able to, see your mates in person. I am starting to miss that a lot, being honest. I am still keeping in contact with my mates, via Messenger and all that. But I guess I just miss hanging out with them in person. As I said in my speech at the end of week 2 of my documentary, I don't know how long this is going to last. Nobody knows how long this is going to last, if it'll get worse. I'm hoping that it doesn't get worse. But I'm just thinking how long. But I'm just thinking, I'm hoping it doesn't last a long time. See you guys tomorrow. So yeah, just another basic day today. Did a bit of weeding in the garden. I've managed to get rid of all the weeds around our house now, so yeah, I can relax for a bit. As for the rest of the day, we watched Harry Potter again. We're coming to the end of watching the whole series. We just watched Deathly Hallows Part 1. So what we've got left to watch is Deathly Hallows Part 2 tomorrow. Oh, as well as watching Doctor Who. We're halfway through series 7. Just coming to the end of, Matt Smith's final series. Yeah, not a lot to report on. Might have, something to do tomorrow. Might go on a walk somewhere. I've definitely been lacking in, going for walks for the past few days. Mainly because I've already been outside, technically, by clearing the weeds out. But that doesn't really count as, exercise. So tomorrow I'm just going to go on a walk. Hopefully I can, take Anna with me. We can have a bit of a chat. Just figured I'd show you this beautiful sunset today, this evening. Looking brilliant as always. As is the rest of Harwich today, being fair. With that sunset. Just figured I'd show you this beautiful sunset today, this evening. Looking brilliant as always. As is the rest of Harwich today, being fair. With that sunset. So, lockdown's been extended. About 3 more weeks at the least. Could mean that they could extend it a bit longer, but I'm hoping that's not the case. But in the meantime, yeah, I feel like I should probably clear my mind. Go for a walk to the old familiar castle. Ran into a few familiar faces just now. First I ran into my mate Levi just as I was coming off Ormsted Avenue. Good to see that he's doing alright. And then just as I was passing my school, my old high school, I ran into my uncle Paul and my cousin Sebastian. So yeah, it's an alright walk so far. Let's see how the castle looks in this kind of weather. Because one thing that I brought up to both of them is that the weather is feeling an awful lot more like summer than it is spring, because it's only April. We're only about a quarter of the way through 2020, and it is roasting. I mean, God knows what it's going to be like, when actual summer gets here. It's probably going to be, boiling. Might actually be able to get a sunburn whilst in Horwich, because one of the things that's always confused me is how I've been able to, get tans, because either I do or I don't. But I feel like I'm inconsistent, because I've been to Venice twice, and both times that I've been there, I've never once got a sunburn. I went to Cornwall when it was surprisingly kind of sunny, and it was that day that I got a sunburn. I was perfectly fine in Venice twice, and I got a sunburn in Cornwall. Madness. See this one bin right here? This feels like, right now, the only real public bin in Horwich, considering every other bin, that's got plastic bags over it. Probably, trying to encourage people not to go outside. But yeah, this feels like the only public bin in Horwich right now. Oh, there's that one over there, if that counts, but I think that's mainly just for dog waste. But yeah, the only two bins in Horwich. I've now given away their location if you wish to put away some of your rubbish in them that you're carrying with them, that you're carrying with yourselves. Anyway, onwards to the castle. Okay, change of plan. There is quite a lot of people at the castle, which is good that they're, outside getting some exercise, but I'd rather, be somewhere with a bit of, peace and quiet to myself. So, I'm going down to the reservoir. I think I've picked a very good place to relax. The fact that all you can hear is like the leaves rustling. And a few flies, but you can't help that. The odd ripples of the water. Some people in the distance over there, but again, can't really be helped. At least I've got some part of this to myself. I just like to point out where I'm sat right now is just underneath the path that goes by the reservoir. This is kind of a lodge that you can hide in. The way that I'm sat here, obviously, it's almost like I'm trying to hide from whoever's on top, like Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin hiding from Saruman's army. Sauron's army. I don't know why I said Saruman. I mean, technically they're both the same armies, I guess, because they're both trying to find the ring, destroy Middle Earth. Even for my Lord of the Rings, I'm just going to take in the peace and quiet and the beautiful scenery. Even though I can't see shit because the sun reflection in the water is so fucking bright. So honestly, every time I try to look straight, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I know I've said this before, but not only imagine how hot is it going to be, in summer if it's this hot now, but imagine how bright the sun's going to be. It's going to be mad. Yeah.
The birds are still just vibing.
Still relaxing, chilling out.
Don't see any birds social distancing.
Well, birds can't catch corona. Beautiful, isn't it? A nice, relaxing sunset. Shining over Horwich at the end of this week. Where quite recently we've learned, you know, pretty shit news, but it's stuff like that that makes us feel a bit better. Just the imagery. That soundtrack. Back at the familiar sitting place that I was at a few days ago. This time, got company. Yeah, just sort of sat here for a bit of fresh air. Normally I'd, you know, once I've recorded on Friday, I'd say that would be it for, you know, this week. But considering how I haven't been recording that much, figured I'd just give you guys just a little bit more. It's fairly cloudy today. It was raining a bit earlier though, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit chillier than it was.
Yeah. And I think in the distance, let me see if I can zoom in on that. I think those right there are ducks, but I'm not too sure, they seem too still. What do you say, Anna? Do they look like ducks?
Yeah,
See, I'd hesitate to say they're not ducks because, you know, they're not moving about that much. Maybe they're just vibing.
very peaceful.
Very. Do you want to throw another rock?
That's what I was about to do.
Right, my turn.
Is this your second attempt at the distance throwing record? Hopefully this time he won't hit a tree.
There was no tree to hit. In case you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's called shot put.
Is it?
Yeah, I did this in year 7. I was fairly good at it. Got to go with them this one day to this sort of a sporting event where we competed against other schools.
Oh, cool.
Came last. That was a bit shit. Let me try that again. Smaller rock this time. I'll try and aim a bit higher.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Do you want to have another go? See if you can beat the record. You don't want to stand up?
Not really. Not even really do it.
Do you want me to show you how to do it?
No.
Of course you don't.
I used to do shot put, but I wasn't very good at it. As you can tell. I was okay at the sprints before. You know, because long distance stuff would always cause me to wheeze a little bit, but
Yeah. If you remember if you remember the continuity of the documentary, you'll know what we're talking about.
what? Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, because we were at that cross country path, weren't we? Talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, we used to do cross country around here as well, didn't we? Only this was for high school, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I was actually better. I would come in 8th instead of 18th.
Good throw.
Thanks. Really appreciate that.
I don't know, I was looking that way and I was just holding the camera. It's just
It would have just been a shot of me just going.
yeah. I can hear like a splashing noise over there. I wonder what that is.
Maybe it's just like a bird.
I'll have a look.
Go investigate.
It's very exciting, this documentary. Can't see anything in there. What if it was just rocks? There's a bin bag in there. Don't know how that got in there.
So probably true then.
Probably.
I remember hearing about this guy it was like a text post, and it was like this guy was like eating a sandwich and like skimming the stone,
Yeah.
and he just threw his sandwich. And then he bit the rock.
Oh, that's doubly stupid.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear, Steve Irwin?
Yeah, the guy who got killed by the stingray.
By the stingray, yeah. Did you hear about, it was one time when he went out to feed a crocodile, but at the same time he was like holding his infant son. So he ran out onto a field, in front of an audience to feed a crocodile. He was holding his infant son in one hand and a dead chicken in the other.
Yeah, God. If he'd made that mistake, that would have been
Quite hard to explain to the wife.
I think it would be hard to explain,
Just a straight up divorce.
yeah. Do you remember, what was he called? Steve
Backshall. Yeah. He did Deadly Six, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I used to quite like that. Love a bit of action.
But he never covered the deadliest animals on the planet, did he? People.
Wow. You're so insightful, Luke.
Yeah, I'd like to think I am. Did you know, Anna? In an alternate universe, fire probably puts out water.
Shut up.
It probably does, if you think about it. If you could... My theory goes,
What
if you
do
could...
put out water?
Well, water puts out fire.
Well, technically
Extinguish-
they combat each other. Technically the fire makes the water evaporate, but the water's still steam.
But a large quantity of water
Yeah.
puts out fire.
Yeah.
So in an alternate universe, a large quantity of fire could put out water. Water could be more dangerous than it is now. We could be looking over across a sea of fire in an alternate universe.
No.
Fish could swim in the fire.
Fire
We could
isn't a
we could cook
liquid.
marshmallows in water.
Fire isn't a liquid. But don't get me started on what state of matter fire is, because scientists are still debating that.
Yeah, camera's almost down, so I'm going to end this here. Okay, now's about time that I think I need to explain myself a little bit, because, as you probably noticed, this week's part of the documentary hasn't been as bulky as the previous recordings of the documentary. For various reasons. One of them was that on some days I would be editing my friend Matty's Let's Play of Dark Souls 2. There was one night that I was working on part 3. That took me quite a while to do. A lot of the other days was mainly just me taking out weeds from the back garden and the front garden, as well as mowing the lawn. That wasn't really something that I felt, was interesting enough to, document. After I did stuff like that, I felt like I just wanted to relax, so I just spent a lot of time on my PS4. I didn't really document that either. Wish I had done, because then it would have, given me, something, a lot more to supply for this documentary, rather than just me saying that I'm going to go out for a walk and then I don't, and then on the days that I do go out, I basically just go to Liverpool Castle 500 bloody times. So, yeah, for the lack of content that's not been present on this documentary, I apologise. Sorry. So, for week 5 of the documentary, I'm looking at doing something to, keep people watching, add something to the flow of it, add a bit more meat to this documentary that I'm doing, rather than just, you know, you guys just seeing my face rather than you guys just, you know, seeing my face every time I record something, and then that just really, you know, just being it, not really following what I'm doing. I got an idea to do something. In fact, I should probably get the... I got an idea from this YouTuber called Small Ant 1, I think he was. What he basically did was he streams a lot. I obviously, you know, don't really know how streaming properly works, but I can, you know, as I can document stuff, so I think I'll be able to, you know, document processes one at a time. But what he did was he played Pokemon Platinum, and his challenge that he set himself was to complete Pokemon Platinum without taking any damage whatsoever. You know, not taking any damage in battles whatsoever, and that took him quite a while to do. So I figured if he's got the time to do a challenge like that, I figured, you know, I could do something fairly similar, and I'm going to do it with one of my preferred Pokemon games, Pokemon Heart Gold. Not sure if you can see that. Can the camera focus in? There we go. For documentary 5, it's not going to be the entirety of the documentary. I should stretch. It's going to be something. It's going to be something that I'm doing in addition to, you know, just recording my day-to-day process. Because I feel like you guys deserve that, having not gotten a lot from this part of the documentary, which again I'm sorry for. But yeah, that's all I really had to say. See you guys.